So, before I start losing my mind, I just want to state something. What I'm about to say is nothing related to anybody whatsoever. It's just what I found out. Now, Remembrance Day is 4 days away. And I logged on to Snapchat today only to find out that 297 people either threw out their poppy, put their poppy on the ground, or just in general took it off, spit on it, and then walked away. Me as a fellow Air Cadet, because I'm still in Air Cadets, is butthurt about it. And I say butthurt because, well, I am fucking butthurt about it. Because, for one, we wear a poppy with, a sign of respect. And it's just to kind of give, like, an equivalent representation. Like, I know I really shouldn't be bitching about it because I know it's a world issue. But just to hear that it happened in a school, like in multiple schools after a school assembly for Remembrance Day is just mind-boggling. Because I don't understand why people would want to do something like that. I don't understand for the life of me. One, it's not right. Two, it's disgraceful. It really is. And I'm sorry to use that word, but it truly is. Like, I mean, of course, I'm gonna get butthurt about it because I'm an Air Cadet myself. But everything that we have, like it's me playing this game right now, that wasn't earned by me. How the world changed, like for example, everyone having their own right and freedom, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which I have hung up in my basement, is there for a reason. It's there because the people that went out for us decided to change the world for us. That's why we have Remembrance Day. The way I see it is it really hard to go to your local Remembrance Day ceremony, stand there for about an hour and a half, and remember the ones that fallen for our rights and freedoms? If it's really that hard, tell me right now. I will gladly sit down here and not listen. It's not hard. I wear a uniform every day to remind myself of the people that went out and sacrificed their lives so that way I could have a freedom. So that way I could do what I want. Bike riding, for example. Playing video games, for example. Having a family. Living alone. Having a stable job, and then coming home to your mother, your father, brother, sister, you name it. Even your pet. Coming home to that. That is a privilege. It's not something that was given, it's something that was given to us, but at the same time, someone else had to give it to us. Because if you want, wow, this game on here is stupidly bad. If you want my honest opinion, and I fall under this category too, people in today's society are nothing but, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but people are just nothing but ungrateful little shits. I fall under that category at times. I really do. I will admit to it. But majority of the people that I see or even hang out with are the ones that I've stopped hanging out with and actually dropped them as a friend because they were just being ungrateful. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I had one friend that went and bought an $1,800 gaming computer, threw $3,000 worth of upgrades into it, and then said it wasn't worth it, threw it on the side of the road. And then what did he do? He went and bought a new one. I'm not saying his name, but that's exactly what happened. That right there is being ungrateful. For my mother's birthday, I went and bought her a tablet because she didn't have the joy of doing something other than watching TV. I went in and I bought her an iPad. I fully went in and bought her an iPad. And now she gets to enjoy what she wants to do. People give everything to us, and we take it for granted. Cell phones, for example. We take those for granted. you take it away from us and we flip out. Me, on the other hand, if someone takes my phone from me, it's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. It's not like I can just track it down later on. I don't hide anything personal. It's not like someone's gonna go on my incognito tab and see that I went on, you know, a different website, because I haven't. My girlfriend will back me up on that. Like, come on, people. Grow a set. To me, like, whenever I heard that 53 poppies were thrown out alone at an intermediate school, really hurt. Because not only have I served in every ceremony I could for the past 6 going on 7 years very shortly, I have never missed a single cadet night. I've showed up every night. And if I missed it, it was either because of a family reason or just because I was literally not able to move. Either from pain or from just not being able to move. I think I've only missed 6 nights within the 6 years, and that was during my father's illness, by the way. I think I only missed a couple of nights then. But either way, it's a sign of respect. Like, when I heard from a girl that she witnessed someone take their poppy off, spit on it, and throw it out, I cried. Because how would you like it if you were on a battlefield? Let's be honest. How would you like it if you were being shot at and didn't know what the fuck to do? Like, for example, you're holding your M16. You're on a battlefield. There's gunshots being fired everywhere. You aim, you're about to pull the trigger, and then boom, nothing. Nothing, you may ask. Why nothing? Well, you're not standing up anymore. You didn't move in time for the artillery, and the enemy artillery took you out. I went to a virtual reality simulator that was a really broad simulator, and it made you experience what the veterans had to go through. Of course, it's simulated, but it's simulated to the max. Of course, you're wearing your classic VR headset, but all over your body are these little electrodes. And every time you get shot, every time someone touches you, it zaps you. And let me tell you, when I got hit in the chest with an M16 bullet wearing a bulletproof vest in the game, that shit hurt. And I froze. I didn't know what to do. I just straight up froze because it's like, shit. And when I looked around in the VR headset and saw what was going on, like, of course we had our buddies there too, but when I looked in the VR headset and saw what was going on, my buddy Connor, well, in the game I watched him die. His face, his body, everything, I watched him die. And what did I do? I ran over and I held him. In the game, of course. But I still ran over and held him. And it was... It's absolutely stunning that some people just don't give a shit. It really is. Like, for me to witness something like that on a VR is just... It's mind-boggling. Because even though it was a simulation, it still felt like the real thing. You know, the gun vibrated. I could actually feel Brandon's weight with my VR gloves, like... And I actually did carry I actually did carry Connor all the way back to the medic station in the game. Like, I physically lifted him up and carried him back. Because he physically fell in real life, and I physically walked over to him, picked him up, and then, like, ran on the stationary treadmill to the medic station. And that was hard with 50 pounds of gear on your back. If that. Like, man, you have to realize that, sure, the world might be a shit place right now because Donald Trump. But you have to look at the side that at least houses aren't being blown up. At least there's people still alive, and at least someone's not holding an M16 to your face and saying, you're coming with us. Because if Remembrance Day didn't happen, that would be happening. Somebody would be holding an M16 to your face and saying, you're coming with us. Not feed you, put you in a concentration camp. You know, do all of that stuff. There's actually a song that I was going to play, but I can't because of copyright. Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven. If you've never heard the song or seen the music video, I'd highly suggest you go see it. In fact, I'm asking you to go see it because it explains it explains how our veterans suffer because of what they went through. And there was a lady here in Charlottetown, PEI, at Dairy Queen, and the video is actually on Facebook. There was a lady that was behind a veteran, and it's a committed veteran. He didn't go to war. He's a youngster, but he's in the Call of Duty. So if he gets told to go, he goes. And he got the veteran discount. And the lady behind him said, "That's unacceptable. You should be like one of us and pay the full price." And he goes, "Excuse me, but I'm one out of close to, I think it's 10 million people that fought for your rights and freedoms, and you're telling me that I don't deserve the veteran discount because if I get called to go to war, I have to go?" And she goes, "Yeah, you do." And the lady behind the person that's having the conflict with the other lady offers to pay up and step forward to pay for his meal because she feels terrible that someone has done this. Now, I wasn't there physically to see the situation, but I'll see if I can find the video right now. But man, when I saw this video, the lividness was just... It's absolutely shameful if you ask me, because no one should have to be treated like this. And it's just... It's mind-boggling to even think that somebody would have the audacity to do that. You know? Sorry about the frame rate drop. It's just, I'm looking for a new computer, so... If I can find the video on Facebook, I will definitely... Oh man, what's it called? Oh, great. Samantha just sent me the video. Okay. I actually have the video. And I'm glad I found it because now I'm going to be sharing it. It's probably going to look like shit because it's on my computer. But with a flick of a switch here, if I go to...
That is so... Wow, that is so rude. All of you think you're entitled because you're in the military and you deserve all these special privileges.
It's not a privilege. It's a discount. A privilege is getting to go home. To go home to your family every night. To go home in a free country. Because some people give up their privileges so that people like you can have them. I'm really sorry if I offended you.
I don't want to order anything anymore.
Now, on the brighter side, I fully support our troops. I really do, because I agree with what Bugatti Boy said in the chat. The decency of people has dropped more than my will to live. 100% agree with that one. That one definitely hit the dark side. You want some cookies? But I definitely agree with that. It's just, It's kind of like, for example, if I were to walk up to a grave, just any grave, with a poppy on it and just go... Do you think that's okay for me to do? Is just walk up to a grave, you know, and leave it at that? No. It's an absolute mind-boggling outrage. And it confuses me on why somebody would do this. Let alone 280 people. I have been wearing this since Halloween. Well, since after Halloween, because that's when you should be wearing one. I wear one to work. I wear one... I even have one right beside my bed, pinned up against the wall, so that way I remember. And then after November 11th, I take it down. Because, for people that don't know, if you're still wearing a poppy after Remembrance Day, I don't know what it means, but I know you're not supposed to, and I think it's a sign of respect. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but that's the way I've been told and taught. So, think of it this way. We live in a free country, right? You know, I'm actually going to make... I actually have a video on PTSD and PTSS. If you don't know it, post-traumatic stress disorder and post-traumatic stress syndrome. Now, the two of them are kind of related. The syndrome version is basically just minor flashbacks and aggression, so to say. PTSD, however, is you're getting full-on flashbacks and stuff like that. I'm actually going to make an in-depth video because I don't think me saying this is going to get it to people's heads. And I mean, I know there's just more than 280 people worldwide that have thrown out their poppies, but you think of other countries that still have wars going on. Afghanistan, for example, that shit's still going on. And a lot of people are just like, man, I hate these fucking immigrants because they keep coming here and filling up spaces. Yeah, but at the same time, they don't, at the same time, their house might have got blown up for all you care. And what are you going to do about it? You're just going to bitch and complain that they live here? Dude, they live here. More houses can be built. Quit your bitching, honestly. They're here, they're in a safe place. Canada, right now, is the safest area to live in. Because, for one, we don't have guns. Well, I mean, we do, but we use them respectively. Sorry, America. And two, Canada's, it's a safe place to live in. 2, marijuana is legal, so that's why more people are coming. And 3, we're nice. I'm not trying to tell off anyone here, I'm just stating the facts. Yes, there are some shootings in Canada, but not a lot. We won't go to that stage, because that's not what this video is about. I'm just trying to say is that if you're gonna be an asshole, do it somewhere else. Especially when there's a veteran in the school that has gone out to Afghanistan and almost had his leg amputated, and then comes to your school and you throw a poppy at him and walk away? No, because I saw that veteran today. He showed up to my work and he's like, I was at this school and there was a kid that I witnessed throw a poppy in the trash after the ceremony, and then trash talked to his friends about the ceremony, and he was hurt, man. You might think it's as easy as holding a gun in Call of Duty, Base War, Halo. You might think it's easy to hold a gun that way, but until you truly experience what it's like to be on the other side, it's a completely different story. I near just hit that tree. Jesus. What I mean is that take hockey for example. There's two teams. Take World Wars and hockey together. They're fighting. They're fighting over one thing: freedom, and also the other thing, territory. They want to win, but the only thing different is that their trophy in war is your house. And then when they fire the artillery, that's like somebody body checking you and making sure that you don't come out of the hospital. And at the same time, you wouldn't believe how many people have voluntarily said, I'm going to go fight for my country and leave my family behind. There's actually a poster at my Air Cadet Squadron, or like a booklet, with all of the past training officers that have been there and that passed away, and it explains what they left behind, how old they were. Some of them are as old as 22, or as young as 22. The oldest that passed away was 87, and he was sent out to Afghanistan at the age of 18. And he just passed away at the age of 87. Think about that for a second. He left his whole life behind to fight for everyone's freedom, and yet here we are throwing away poppies. Well, I don't know about you, but I wear mine with respect. When someone looks at me and says, thank you, I look and I go, no, thank you. What are you fucking doing? For example, there was a guy that works for EMS, like paramedics. He came to my work today. And for anyone that's like that, like police officers, EMS, doctors, you name, like RCMP, you name it. Anyone that's in uniform, I say thank you for your service. Because they're helping out. And they're also doing something. Firefighters are a really big example. If I see a firefighter, I automatically say thank you for your service. It's the first, and not even a hello, it's just thank you for your service. Because without them, we wouldn't have people to help out, you know? We wouldn't have paramedics to save mom, dads, brothers, sisters, family, friends' life. We wouldn't have, if we didn't have police officers, well, the world would just be a shit show. If we didn't have firefighters, you wouldn't have a house. You know? It's the little things. And when I went to the EMS guy today and I said, thank you for your service, he had about $20 in bottles, cans, you know, you name it, like $20 of a refund at a bottle depot. And he looked at me and he said, here. And he gave me a $10 tip. I looked back, I called back for him and I said, no, here. Because if I take your $10, I'm probably just gonna go to McDonald's and waste it and not use it on something useful. So what I did is I went down to the ESO station that was just down from work, and I gave the EMS guy $5 back. I put the other $5 in a tip jar for the Legion. And he was about to give me a poppy. I said, no, I already had 4. I said, give it to someone else that doesn't have one. And it made him tear up, because at the same time that I just donated a large amount of money for them, he understands that at least someone at the age of 18, like myself, has respect for someone that went out and fought for our country. Is there a cop behind me? I thought I heard a little Taurus. Or I should say a Crown Vic, because that's what that is. Hey, yo, Cletus! Hell yeah, man, you want a raise? Yeah, okay, I was about to say no shit's given, and there it is. So, it's the little things that make a big difference. And because I did what I did, the McDonald's that was inside the gas station, the girl, like the manager at McDonald's that was working the cash, asked, she came up to me afterwards and she said, listen, because of what you just did, we're gonna give you a free coffee. And I said, okay. So you might be thinking, well, did he take the coffee? No. I took the coffee, but I didn't take it for myself. I took it for the veteran that was sitting at the table trying to collect donations, so that way he could keep giving poppies out to people who need them. I went to Superstore tonight, and it's an absolute disgrace that only the people that have gone and served their lives donate back. Some civilians do, I'll give them that. But for the 2 minutes that I was there, about 90% of people did not donate back to the veteran that was patiently sitting at the table. A veteran, may I remind you, was sitting at the table. And 90% of people just walked by. It's kind of a hurtful thing to witness, you know? I was really on the border of making this live stream, like, you know what, it's something that has to be said. And I was going to tear everyone a new asshole and be angry about it, but then that just makes for a funny video because, you know, my rage quits are just hilarious. And just to hear about it at work is even more disrespectful / graceful. How did I just evade? I'm cruising, for fuck's sakes. Oh, this game doesn't make any sense at all. It really doesn't. Anyway, moral of the story: if you're gonna wear a poppy, wear it with respect. It's not a joke. If you're wearing a poppy, it's for something serious. If you throw a poppy out in the trash, you don't even, like, I'm not gonna go there, but if you throw a poppy out in the trash, what are you doing? What are you doing saying that your freedom and rights don't matter? Last night at cadets, for example, I got my kids, or my cadets that I was teaching, to write out 6 values that they preserve. 6 values that they want to keep. I got them to write it out on a piece of paper. I made 3 of them do it. I did it myself. I took their values. For example, one of them was relationships. I threw that one away. Family, threw that one away. Friendships, threw that one away. Support services, like ambulances, firefighters, police, RCMP, threw that one away. The only one I kept was dignity. I threw freedom and rights away. And the reason why I did this exercise was because I wanted to show them that if people throw out their poppies and show no respect, that's what happens. The only thing you're going to keep is your pride and dignity. Everything else doesn't matter. Your freedom doesn't matter. Your right to come home to a family doesn't matter. Your right to come home and have a job and support yourself doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. But because of people that sacrifice their lives for us, it matters. Some people take their family for granted, which is kind of a good thing depending on the situation. Sorry, I'm trying not to get upset. My girlfriend, for example, I love her to death. I really and truly do. I would love to spend every day with her, but, you know, because of where we live and all that good stuff, it's kind of hard to do, and it's really hitting close to home for me, because when I want to be with her the most, I can't. You know, for example, that bed's getting a little empty, but it sounds like an ish me, not an ish you, so I gotta work on that. But at the same time, be thankful for what you have. Sure, I might have all this equipment, but that's because 2/3 of it was bought for me for Christmas or even birthday or even just out of generosity. And I went back and I bought my mom a tablet in gratefulness because of everything that we've gone through. And it's too personal to say, but at the same time, she's bought more stuff for me than she should have. I am going to agree with what Anthony just said in the chat. He says, soldier comes in with a tank. Soldier, war is won by blood, guts, and glory. The guts and glory I will provide. The blood is where you come in. And it's true enough, because the guts and the glory is what the soldiers are doing Yet at the same time, we are the people that are supposed to be raising a generation. This is the worst generation known to humankind. Do your research. Anyone born from 2000 and on was born in the worst generation known to mankind. We're too we are too, too greedy with everything that we own. 2, we have no respect for each other. And 3, we treat each other like dirt. Of course, you'll get the odd person that's, really nice and caring like me. And don't laugh at that, because it's actually true. I've helped so many people on different occasions that I've actually been recommended to become a professional counselor. So it's the serious shit. And at the same time, there's just a bunch of people that just don't give a shit. On top of that, I do have news about me and a PS4. Currently, I'm looking into a PS4. There are no promises yet. Financial strain has gone right through the roof. I'm still trying to afford a new computer because I love this computer to death, but it's also going to be a Christmas present from my mom because, again, she has nothing and I kind of have everything and I feel like a dick for that. So, new computer's on the way. PS4, on the other hand, will come into play. I have a copy of Gran Turismo Sport. Credit to Leia, my biking partner, for that one. And I still need to find a reasonably good PS4 that's not illegal and not jailbroken, because apparently that's all that's online right now. At the same time, it's just the amount of time and stuff I have because of work and college at the same time. So financial strain's a little bit hard right now, but we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Anywho, that's all I wanted to say for this live stream. Sorry if this means nothing to some people, because some people are just going to look at this video and fucking laugh because, they just don't care, and the other people are going to go, wow, what a bunch of fucking dicks. Throw out your poppy, your basic right in freedom. Another, really quick example is that, for example, if I were to get busted by the cops here, for example, they're going to read me my rights and freedoms that I have. Everything else has been taken away because, before I was detained, I was never arrested, but, for example, if I were to ever get detained, before I got detained, I had every right and freedom that everyone else has. But now, because I violated one of those rights and freedoms, I'm now going to be taken to jail and have nothing. The same way that a prisoner of war would be treated, only since the prisoner of war would be trying to help and still have everything taken from him, let alone have everything taken from him in the first place. So, do me a favor. For the people that actually are going to give a shit and do something about it, wear a poppy with respect. For everyone else that's not going to give a settledly shit about what goes on in their life, don't bother. If you're wearing a poppy and you have no respect for it, don't bother wearing it. Because at that point, it's just a decoration on you. But for the people that really care for it and have respect for it, it's a sign of respect. It's a sign that they actually support people that have gone out for their rights and freedoms. So, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to go blow off some steam on the crew, maybe record the video for it if I feel like it and don't scream. And for future videos, they are on the way. I've just been really tied up with work and oh fuck, I've just been really tied up with work. Man, you would think a bottle exchange wouldn't get busy on a daily basis. Oh, but trust me, it does. Anywho, I'm leaving it at that. So, I'm really sorry if this hits close to home for anyone, but at the same time, please, man, go check out Five Finger Death Punch, Wrong Side of Heaven. I'm not trying to advertise for them. I'm simply just trying to advertise for a good video, for an amazing video. So, before my PS3 decides to go into hairdryer mode and get all the hot air out of it, I am going to end it off here. As for Gran Turismo Sport in the future, that is a go, because I'm going to push it as hard as I can. I really miss not being online with all my future buddies, like Fiery Badger, Bugatti Boy, trying to remember. Oh man, there's a lot of people that I miss, and I miss all the good memories that I had on Gran Turismo 6. Like, every time I play GT6, I just want to cry because I can't press the online button and go scream at a screen. Tina Kid, he was squeam. That was the best meme in Gran Turismo 6. The one thing I missed most is not being able to do Gran Turismo Radio, and that's slowly coming back to life. So, until next time, it's been Racing Studios. I am going to be uploading a video for Remembrance Day. Just as a note, it's going to be a really sensitive video, so not trying to tell anyone off, but at the same time, I really suggest you see that video. So, hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream. As always, it's been your boy, Do It with Dingleberry here, and good day.